What stalked the shadows of North Carolina? The chilling, unsolved mystery of the Beast of Blood and Borough. What stalks in the darkness? What leaves behind a trail of fear and inexplicably drained carcasses? For a few terrifying weeks in the winter of 1953-54, the quiet rural town of Blood and Borough, North Carolina, was gripped by panic, desperately searching for an answer to those very questions. This isn't just your grandma's ghost story, it's a real, documented mystery of predator and panic that continues to haunt the region to this day. The Trail of Blood begins, a community on edge. Picture it, a quiet, close-knit community in Bladen County, North Carolina. Life was simple, predictable, until the animals started dying in. Late December 1953. The first victim was a dog in nearby Clarkton on December 29th, described as the work of a sleek, black, about 5 feet long creature. But the true horror began on New Year's Eve. A local man, Johnny Voss, found his 2 dogs dead near their kennel. They weren't just killed. They were, in his words, torn into ribbons and crushed. He described a gruesome scene, blood everywhere, pools of saliva, and a predator so bold it came back to steal the wrapped body of its first victim before returning hours later to kill the second. One dog was found days later with the top of its head torn off and its body crushed and wet, like it had been in that thing's mouth. The other had its lower jaw completely ripped off. This was just the beginning. The following days saw a relentless string of attacks. January 1st, 1954. 2 more dogs were found dead on a local farm, one sort of eaten up. January 3rd, 2 more dogs killed. An autopsy revealed one had barely 2 or 3 drops of blood in him, its jawbone smashed back and its tongue chewed out. January 5th. A pet rabbit was found cleanly decapitated. Its body, still warm. A goat was reported killed. Its head flattened. The pattern was horrifying and consistent. Victims were crushed, mutilated, and drained of blood, earning the unseen killer a new, terrifying moniker, the Vampire Beast. Face to face with the phantom. Eyewitness descriptions. As the body count rose, so did the sightings. Panic bred vigilance, and soon descriptions of the beast began to flood in, though they were often conflicting. Some described it as about 4.5 feet long, bushy, and resembling either a bear or a panther. Lloyd Clemens, who saw it on January 4th, gave a more detailed account. 20 inches high, 14-inch long tail, dark in color, and a face exactly like a cat. Only I ain't ever seen a cat that big. Hunters tracking the creature estimated its weight at 80 to 90 pounds based on its tracks, which showed claws at least an inch long. They noted its movements suggested it might have had a mate or offspring nearby. Perhaps the most terrifying encounter was with Mrs. Seek-in-Law on January 5. She heard her dogs whimpering and went on to her porch, only to see a creature she described as a big mountain lion charge toward her. It only fled when she screamed for her husband. The tracks it left behind were described as bigger than a silver dollar. Others reported hearing its chill screams, a strange noise unlike any local animal. Some likened it to the desperate cry of a human baby. The great hunt, hysteria, and heavy artillery. The fear was now palpable. Parents kept children indoors after dark. Men carried firearms when they left home, and the town was effectively under siege. The local police chief, Roy Force, organized searches, but his own dogs reportedly refused to follow the creature's trail. The story, amplified by sensational newspaper headlines, quickly spread beyond Blood and Borough. It drew hunters from across the state eager to bag the legendary beast. What began as a small posse soon swelled into a massive operation. On January 5th, over 500 people scoured the woods and swamps. The hunt peaked on January 6th to 7th, with mobs of 800 to 1,000 armed hunters and onlookers descending on the small town, forcing officials to call off the hunt for safety reasons. The desperation grew so intense that there was even a plan to stake dogs out as bait, idea that was protested by a humane society and ultimately abandoned. The mayor, Woodrow Fussell, added a layer of intrigue by traveling to Charlotte to book the film The Big Cat for his town theater, leading some to believe the entire affair was a clever hoax for publicity. The answer and an enduring legacy. As suddenly as the attacks began, they stopped. On January 13th, a local farmer, Luther Davis, found a bobcat struggling in a steel trap in a nearby swamp and shot it. Mayor Fussell promptly announced that the Beast of Bladenboro had been killed. Yet many questioned whether a creature that small could have been responsible for the brutal vampiric kills. That same day, another man hit a large, spotted like a leopard cat with his car, further muddying the waters. Officially, the case was closed, but the mystery was far from solved. The beast left an indelible mark on Blood and Borough. The town has fully embraced its cryptid legend, even hosting an annual Beast Fest festival in October to celebrate its infamous mysterious guest. Furthermore, similar attacks have continued to surface over the decades, suggesting the beast, or something like it, never truly left. In 2007, two farmers in Lexington and Greensboro, North Carolina, hours from Blood and Borough, reported the massacres of their entire goat herds, 60 goats in one case, all found with their heads crushed and bodies drained of blood. Later that year, in Bolivia, North Carolina, a series of pit bull killings occurred. The dogs were found dead with no signs of a struggle, drained of blood, and accompanied by large, mysterious tracks. So what was it? The lingering theories, the question remains. Was the Beast of Bladenboro a case of mass hysteria fueled by a series of unrelated animal deaths? Or was there a genuine predator stalking the swamps? The search results point to several compelling theories. A known big cat cougar, many descriptions match. Killing style neck bites, dragging prey fits. Believed extirpated from NC in the 1950s. Some descriptions didn't quite match. A large bobcat native to area, capable of killing small livestock. Witnesses insisted it was larger, with the long-tail bobcats have short tails. A pack of feral dogs can cause clusters of violent livestock killings. Attacks suggested a solitary predator. Descriptions were consistently feline. An escaped exotic pet. It would perfectly explain the Black Panther descriptions. No documented records of a missing leopard or jaguar from that time or place. Mass hysteria and hoax media frenzy amplified fear. May or may have encouraged publicity. Does not explain the physical evidence, documented tracks and mutilated carcasses. What do you think? The truth is likely a complex cocktail of all the above. A genuine predator. Perhaps a large bobcat or cougar triggered the initial attacks, but fear, folklore, and media sensationalism created a legend far larger than life, a legend that continues to stalk the pine flats and swamps of North Carolina to this day. What's your theory? Let us know in the comments. And if you ever find yourself in Blood and Borough in October, you might just want to keep an eye on the shadows while you're enjoying Beast Fest. Just in case, please like, share, comment, or subscribe, and ring that notification bell for more videos. Thank you.